Hi. Today I want to talk on the dual nature of existence where people are saying that you are the soul and you are separate identity from everything that exists, and the non-dual nature of where um, the soul is actually not separate from all that exists, and the ego and everything else once shared is actually a construct, and it is actually, you know, um, something that is part of um, ignorance. And when we shed the ignorance, that we become one. So, of course, I totally disagree with that, and I believe, and this lecture is going to be, or this talk is going to be on the, how I believe that the soul is separate, and although it may lose its existence or knowledge or awareness of its existence on the highest stage of Samadhi or enlightenment level, but still it comes down and attains awareness of all its usual qualities. So let me introduce myself. Firstly, I'm Osman. I'm an energy healer on a master level, um, with telepathic capabilities and specializing in critical care recovery and terminal illnesses. Also amongst a host of other physiological, psychological, and even spiritual ailments, especially treatment of involuntary Kundalini awakening. And I'm also an advanced level yoga and meditation teacher, having been practicing for 50 years and teaching for 44 years. But in that period, having studied under various masters under different schools of thought in yoga, and I combined the best of all the protocols and created my own protocol, simplifying it mainly for the 21st century, and with great success and students having students in over 100 countries. If you want to know more about my services, please visit my website, yogawellness786.com. So, coming to the topic, I don't believe that although the soul does lose awareness of all its layers, it loses consciousness of the body, loses awareness of the mind becomes totally still, and it loses even its ego of the sense of I, who I is, and everything stops and you merge into an abyss of total bliss and consciousness of the universal consciousness, right? So once you're there, there is no I and no awareness because there isn't a self, right? And they say this is the ultimate, but I agree that this is an experience. That I agree. I've had these experiences, but I didn't believe that this is the ultimate. I believe this when one, is in conjunction with something so great, of course, you're going to lose consciousness. So the elevation process, as you losing consciousness of the body and losing consciousness of the mind, you are shedding all your outer constructs, and it's like you're going through a cleansing process. It's like you remove your clothes, you go for a shower, you rub yourself down, and then you put your fresh set of clothes, right? So when you go through that experience, you can understand and see everything in its correct perspectives because you experienced it for yourself. And then when you come back from that experience and come down, you reassume your clothing, which is your superior intelligence, your mind, your prana, your energy body, and your physical body as well, but with a different perspective, with a broader understanding, having experienced everything, and experience, what everything is. So they say you are the soul, you are not the body, you are not the mind. And this is where the problem comes about, with this theory. You know, okay, that's a theory, but I completely disagree with that. I'm not saying you are the body or you are the mind. Your mind and body is part of who you are, right? Imagine if you are not the body and mind, give your body and mind up now. Commit suicide, right? You'll leave it. It's not important. It's not you, right? That is foolishness to do that. You are the body. The body is part of who you are. So it is a misinterpretation of the 5 layers of the human construct in Vedanta, right? So they call them the 5 layers of the koshas: the Annamaya Maya Kosha, Pranamaya Maya Kosha, Manomaya Maya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Maya Kosha, Anandamaya Maya Kosha. So the Annamaya Maya Kosha is referring to the layer of the body, right? And the Pranamaya Maya is your subtle life force energy, which fires up everything and gives life to your body, and repairs the damage. It's a miraculous repair function, self-repair function. It's a miraculous energy that turned the fetus into a human body and shaped the human body from decrypting the code in the genetics, and it decrypts the code according to each genetic code, according and perfectly creates according to that code whether the person should have what features and what hair color, what eye color, what's the shape of the face, shape of the nose. Everything is perfectly designed. It's like a blueprint that the energy layer, and that's part of who you are, your construct. Like you have a car, it's got a carburetor in the olden days, right? These days there's no carburetor, fuel injection, and not even now there's electrical powered vehicles, right? You have your power source, whether it be fuel through a carburetor, fuel injection, or electrical power. You have the engine, you have your the chassis of the vehicle, the body of the vehicle, and you have the interior, the seats and everything. It's Is the car the seats? No, but the seats is part of the car. Is the car the steering? No, but the steering is part of what the car is, right? Everything is part of the dashboard, is part of the car, chassis is part of the car. Is the engine? You can change the engine around, right? You can remove the engine, put another engine. You can remove the heart, right? Do a heart transplant, put another heart. You're not the heart, right? So this is part of who you are. So these 5 layers, coming to pranamaya, maya kosha, where we stop the energy layer, and the manomaya, your mind, right? So you can't destroy your mind, but you can silence it, calm it down during mindfulness practices, and become totally rested into silence, right? And resting in silence, and slowly developing, transforming your energies into the spiritual energy. The transmutation of your energies and directing it to the brain and developing the brain. And primarily, I believe it is developing the pineal gland, which is dormant, and awakening it over, it takes a long time to do that completely. Once that opens up, then the rest of the functions of the brain becomes completely activated. So currently you are, at best using 10 to 20% of your brain capacity. Once you fully awaken all the other aspects through this process of yoga, you completely awaken it, and you go into a state of consciousness where your awareness completely increases, step by step, where you start becoming clairsentient, start getting clairaudience, and then getting clairvoyance, and seeing, a broader spectrum of the energies, or the visual capability increases and expands, where you can also visualize the subtle energies and the everything that is powering everything that existing. You see, you observe the world both physically and energetically, and everything looks absolutely beautiful and congruent and amazing, and your brain capacity is so amazing, your thinking capacity, creativity, intuitiveness. You become like a super person, right? Like a superhuman, through opening the Vijnana Maya Maya Kosha, right? Or the intellect. So it's not your intellect that you conceive of. This intellect is referring not to your normal intellect, but the superior intellect. So when that awakens, that intellect can think 1,000 times faster than what your current intellect can speak. In a split second, when it awakens, you experience like all the problems which normally, like it's snail mail, takes slow to understand. In a split second, you understand everything. You understand things super fast, and you can memorize. Your memory function improves exponentially. You start having a photographic memory. People just need to tell you something once or read an entire book to you, and you remember every word, every chapter, every line in its sequence, what the words are, right? That's how perfect and irrespective of the volume, right? So hundreds of thousands of terabytes, right, can fit in, into your brain. No AI can compare the amount that your intellect can hold, in its memory bank. And the Vijnana, and then the Anandamaya Maya Kosha, or the bliss layer, is where you're experiencing the blissfulness of the um, consciousness and the energy levels, the energy and the cosmic energy filtering into you. And when you're connecting with that, eventually you lose even the consciousness of I. You lose that, and it's like a non experience, right? You don't know what happened. You go into total awareness of everything. You're not aware anymore because you are one with everything. Only the I, if there's the I can experience. It's a non experience, right? When you go to that and you lose your identity, it's like you're shedding off all your layers, and then you come back down and you re embrace all your layers, but with a newer perspective, right? And this is what I believe, that you are actually the body and the mind and your energy, subtle life force energy, and your superior intelligence and your blissful nature, and all these things is part of who you are. And when you lose all that, it is just you are exploring, and you're going to certain frequencies where these, every layer has got a different frequency, cannot operate in the higher frequencies. It becomes dysfunctional, right? And you lose awareness of that frequency. Like as you approach from the base level to one step up in meditation, the first level is you lose consciousness of your body. You're fully awake, but you can't feel your body anymore from your neck down, right? From your neck down, it becomes like it's not there anymore. And slowly, as you intensify, that disconnect become more and more intense, that it's completely, sometimes you need to forcefully come down. Sometimes you get stuck on that level and you can't come down, and you're not feeling your body, you're just feeling your head, you know. So I hope you can do more investigations into it and think about it as well. But this is what I believe. And once you come down, your new awareness makes you to live life in love, in peace, in trying to be a functional member of society, but not giving up everything that you want. Still doing your job, with mindfulness and to the best of your ability, and living in harmony with everything that's around you. You understand, in harmony, trying to be helpful where you can. And you go home, you have your own family, or you have your home, your own space, and your own inner circle of people, or your own activities, and you continue it, in happiness. And this is my opinion. And hope that information helps you. And take care of yourself always.